I'm Dr. Anthony Kaveh. I'm a Stanford and Harvard trained anesthesiologist and integrative medicine specialist, and I practice medicine a little differently because I integrate medical therapies from around the world, including out here in the foothills of the Himalayas, while I'm getting out of breath, to help give my patients the best care that they deserve. Follow me as I take you to the Himalayas to share secrets from one of the world's most ancient natural medical practices. Ayurvedic medicine is completely different than anything we use in Western medicine. I'm going to share with you some of the most powerful Ayurvedic herbs and plants, and some of which I actually use with my patients in San Francisco. Now, I'm in the San Francisco International Airport, and in this trip to the Indian subcontinent, I'm going to share with you what Ayurvedic medicine does really well and how we can fill in the gaps of our Western medicine practice. They're boarding right now. I think that's my airplane back there. It's nice to pack light. 13 hours later here in Istanbul International Airport, another culture with fascinating medical practices that go back thousands of years, but we'll save that for another trip. And an 8-hour flight from Istanbul to Kathmandu now. You can actually see the Himalayan mountain range out of the airplane windows. Just landed at Kathmandu's International Airport, and we're gonna get ready for this trek. We now have a 4-hour car ride from Kathmandu to Bandipur after that plane ride. There's a lot of driving from the airport to the start of the trek, and a lot of elephants on the way. I'd never been this close to them before, and another airplane ride and even more mountains. So I just landed in the Pokhara airport, and they have little baby date palms here. Check out these little guys here. You can actually eat these if you know what you're doing. So I have some in my hand. If you peel them, they actually taste like little dates, so I'm gonna just pop that in. And it tastes like a date. Lots of minerals and vitamins and fiber in dates. They're not really a part of Ayurveda per se, but pretty cool. I wanted to show it to you here at the airport of all places. And more bumpy car rides to get to the trek. This is tulsi, or holy basil. It's one of the most revered herbs in the Ayurvedic medical tradition. You can tell that this looks kind of similar to the basil that we use in the West. It's a powerful adaptogen, which we don't have in the West. Adaptogens are herbs that stabilize all your body's physiology to make you more resistant to mental and physical stresses, to help when we're stuck from a motivation standpoint. So if we're having trouble implementing an exercise regime or getting our diet under control, to help get us over that hump. If there's that barrier to healing ourselves, and for also inducing peace and calm. I actually use it myself in capsule form. It may also have anti-diabetic properties to help lower blood sugars, not as well studied. And here's another very powerful herb that we actually use in the West as well. Turmeric comes from the curcuma longa plant. Check out the leaves here and the roots that are down here. You can't actually see the turmeric roots right now, but if I take some of this leaf and I crush it up, and it has a very characteristic turmeric smell. The root's going to be down there, but I know based on the smell what's growing under the soil there. Turmeric is the classic anti-inflammatory herb or plant, powerful for reducing inflammation in our brains, in our GI tract, our mouth, pretty much anywhere in the body. Some of the best evidence is for knee osteoarthritis. We even use it in the West. And it can also be powerful as a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, or NSAID, dose reducer, meaning that it's so powerful with its anti-inflammatory properties that patients that take ibuprofen and naproxen regularly can actually reduce their dose. And that's really powerful because NSAIDs like ibuprofen and naproxen can wreak havoc on your GI tract and your kidneys over time. Turmeric does not have those same side effects. On its own, turmeric is not well absorbed, and it's mixed with black pepper and oils to help increase its absorption. It's a really powerful example of how our foods have adapted over time to include these medicinal plants so that we naturally can get these benefits from the food that we eat every day. Another car ride to get closer to the base of those mountains. About to go into the Himalayas that you can't quite see behind me, but I just want to show you in the courtyard how prevalent these Ayurvedic herbs are here. Beautiful courtyard, and lots of Ayurvedic herbs that are as common as the tomato plants and mint and basil that we have in our Western gardens. Let's start over here. We have a very sacred plant called ak. You can see its little budding flower eventually going to come out here. I do not use this with my patients, to be clear. It is a purgatory type of herb, so it helps with vomiting, has a bitter taste that can help with digestion, can help with imbalances of kapha and pitta. If we come to the side, you'll see another tulsi plant here, holy basil. We said highly revered for its adaptogenic properties, especially in helping to overcome motivational blocks to ultimately healing ourselves. And even more herbs in this beautiful garden here, showing how ingrained the Ayurvedic herbs are with everyday life. Down here in the corner, there's a little succulent plant. This one is called patarchapa, traditionally used to help relieve kidney stones, can have toxic effects as a cardiac glycoside. We do use cardiac glycosides in Western medicine. The most common medication is called digoxin, also comes from a plant, interestingly. It's called foxglove.
And the last car ride to get to the base of the mountains where we're gonna see a lot more plants.
We're at the check post for starting the Annapurna Base Camp trek. Freezing cold Himalayan runoff behind us. Let's get going again.
And the beautiful scenery begins.
We just started our trek up here and you can already see some stinging nettle. Stinging nettle isn't only Ayurvedic, we use it in the West actually. It can be tremendously beneficial for allergies, kind of like a natural antihistamine, without the same side effects of traditional antihistamines like Benadryl that cause sedation that you get over the counter. You don't want to obviously touch it, but you can consume it in other ways there without hurting your fingers. We're approaching the Annapurna Base Camp. I'm here with our guide, Ramesh here. He's been showing me so many of the Ayurvedic secrets here, all the plants and herbs that you've been seeing along the way here. We stopped at a little guest house here to have lunch.
I'm gonna share a couple culinary secrets, but there's gonna be a lot more in the next video.
This mustache herb I showed you a moment ago, we're all warming. So, mustache. What was the other name for it? Dimbu. Dimbu. Incredibly spicy. We're gonna have that in a little bit. So this is a combination of tomatoes and more of that Szechuan. You can even smell it, and it almost makes your eyes water. The dumplings, everything else that's being cooked here. All right, so let's see what it's like. Delicious, but very hot.
Momos are so good.
Here we have some more super powerful herbs. Remember this from earlier, this one is turmeric, very important herb. And also just makes food taste really good. Oh, hey. Stop it. Stop it.
And an adorable, but really annoying goat.
All right, that's it, go. Go away. One of the oldest herbal medicines used, probably can all tell what this is here. This is marijuana. It is actually smoked up here in the Himalayas. I'm not going to smoke any right now, but it does have a lot of medicinal properties. This is the natural plant that you're seeing here, so it's not like the stuff that we see sold in marijuana dispensaries where THC concentrations go well above 10, 20, even 30% sometimes. Lots of medicinal properties, but very different than what I see in my patients in the operating room who have complications from anesthesia due to synthetic strains.
And we definitely have to share the road with others.
Right ahead there with those long broad leaves, you can see a cardamom plant. Cardamom is used extensively in cooking in India and Nepal. Also has some nutritive properties. I don't routinely prescribe cardamom. However, it does add a lot of taste to food. So when we're talking about patients consuming whole food plant-based diets, cardamom can be a valuable way of making them taste a little better to encourage less processed food intake and more whole food intake. So we're closing in on the Annapurna Base Camp. I just took a warm shower. It feels absolutely amazing after a couple of days. Warm temperatures will have some changes to body odor. Another super common plant up here in altitude is the marigold. So the Romans called it calendula. There are so many uses for it in Ayurvedic medicine as well as its uses in ancient Europe. Its main use is in dermatologic conditions like eczema, any type of skin irritation. It also smells amazing. It can be used as a carrier oil for all sorts of other topical applications, even sprained ankles and sunburns.
And what trek would be complete without being ambushed by goats, especially this adorable little baby ear?
Ramesh has done such an incredible job of showing us all the natural beauty and sharing all of his knowledge about all the local plants. And here we have the world's first caffeine shot. This is the tea leaf, everything from green to Earl Grey. It's the same leaf, it just depends on how long it's dried and fermented for, where black teas are fermented for longer than green teas. And there are so many health benefits to tea that we're just starting to learn about now. A lot of it is not yet studied, but I'm sure in the coming decades, we're gonna learn so much more about the natural benefits that we can get from drinking tea. I personally do recommend theanine to the right patient, which does come from a constituent of the tea leaf. Can help with relaxation, can help with insomnia to an extent, along with other lifestyle changes, of course. I use it myself occasionally. This is such a powerful example of plant-based medicine that I share with my patients, because you can imagine a caffeine shot like from a high caffeine sugary drink or something. It's like a quick on, quick off of caffeine. You get all those jitters, those side effects that you simply don't get from the gentle onset of caffeine from something like tea, and to a lesser extent, coffee. So it's slower going on, slower coming off, but that's just fine for the majority of cases. Now, if you're in the operating room with me or the emergency department, that's totally different. We have pharmaceuticals that have fast onsets. They do come with side effects, but we manage those side effects in emergency situations. You simply don't need that rapid onset with the side effects that come with it. For many conditions, not all, but when possible, I always recommend gentler forms of medicine, and plants like the tea that you see here are a powerful example of that. And this is a large reason why I started my clinic in San Francisco, because I've just seen the boundaries of what we can accomplish in Western medicine. There's only so much that prescribing pills can do for my patients, when there is this ancient wisdom that for thousands of years has been known about tapping into that inner healing potential, whether it be through spiritual experiences in nature like we're seeing here, or whether it be through a guided psychedelic experience, to help patients recognize how they can heal their own minds and bodies. And part of that ancient wisdom also includes that connection with nature, where so much of our medications originally come from nature. Just right here, I have one type of marigold behind me, and I've shown you so many other examples of plants all around the Himalayas. They may not all replace our powerful Western medicines, but can be used together, integrated together, and ultimately help us recognize that we have more power over our health than we've probably ever been told.